Have MAC reformulated their famous face and body, or is this just a case of a rose by any other name? Stay tuned to find out. Hi guys, and welcome back to Beauty Fortified. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Sue, and today I'm talking about the new foundation from MAC, and it is quite a mouthful. It's the Studio Radiance Face and Body Radiant Sheer Foundation. Now, of course, the million-dollar question is, have they changed the formula of the original MAC Face and Body, or is this just a brand refresh? Now, if like me, you've done a bit of research, you might well be confused, and I think you're forgiven for that, because a little bit of their marketing that I've come across has been quite misleading. So here's a screenshot of their international website, and they have the word new in red. And then on the local Facebook page, they say Studio Radiance Face and Body is here, exclamation mark. So obviously a lot of excitement around a new product. And then in a similar post, they talk about the newest addition to our foundation family. So it is a little bit confusing because if you read between the lines, the formula has not changed, but they don't actually spell that out. So what they do talk about is the fact that there are now 33 shades. So where there was once 13, there are now 33. And I did put a call to my local MAC counter, and they assured me that the formulation has not changed. So that is really good news. They have 20 new colors, and good news for me because traditionally I used to mix a combination of N3 and N5. And interestingly, they never had N4. They haven't ever had N4. And I really felt that it was the one shade that would be absolutely perfect because it is the one shade between these two. So I went in store and I managed to pick up a bottle of the N4. So when they told me that there's been absolutely no formulation change, I was a little bit skeptical just because of the way that they were marketing it. So I did a little bit of research and I pitted the old ingredients up against the new formulation ingredients, or the new foundation ingredients. And actually they are all identical. They're all identical. A little bit of what has changed is the order of the ingredients, and the one in particular is something called trimethyl siloxyl silicate. And I looked that up to find out what that does, and apparently it's a solid silicone resin that creates a permeable film over the skin, and it makes makeup formulas more long-lasting and can enhance water resistance. So I was quite pleased about that. In the original formula, it's number 22 on the list, and in the new formula, well, in the new revamped foundation range, it's number 13. So that got me thinking that that can only be a good thing if it's something that can help the longevity of the foundation, because my one bugbear with this is that it only really lasts me a good 8 hours, and after that it starts to disappear. Now, I really do love this foundation. I've always really enjoyed it, especially going into my late 40s. I really started to appreciate the beauty of this foundation because it is so sheer and it is so skin-like. So I'm going to tell you here what their claims are, what the new claims are for the revamped foundation. I don't know what to call it. It's because the formula hasn't changed, so it's the color expansion. So what they do say here is that it's long wearing, 8 hours. Now, I like that they don't exaggerate the wear time and they don't give it like a 24-hour wear claim or, you know, anything over 8 hours, because in fact, I think it's true to say that it is an 8-hour foundation. Then they say it provides stay true color for 8 hours. It's waterproof. Now, this claim flummoxes me because it's not a transfer proof or even transfer resistant foundation. And so the question is, if they can make it waterproof, why can't they make it transfer proof at the same time? Because I think waterproof doesn't really mean anything if your foundation is going to, you know, be disappearing throughout the day. So I found that quite an interesting claim. They do say because you can use it on the body, they claim that it's waterproof, but you are going to get transfer on the body as well. So I don't really understand that claim. They say that it's instantly hydrating, it doesn't cause acne, it's for all skin types, including sensitive skin. It's dermatologist tested and ophthalmologist tested. So those are all the claims. And of course, the biggest plus is that it now comes in 20 more shades. So I got the new N4 and I'm going to put it through its paces, and I just want to see how similar it is to the original. So you do need to shake this, and I'm going to apply a few drops to my hand. Now they do say that you can apply with a foundation brush, a sponge, or your fingers, but I do prefer to apply with my fingers because I find that, and I'm taking that much in my fingers, I find that it applies a lot better. And the trick is to rub it between your fingers and it becomes tacky, and then you start to apply it, and then you know that the magic is starting to work. But now interestingly, this is not becoming tacky in my fingers. It could be because it's brand new, so maybe it takes a little while before it does that. But I'm just going to apply it to my skin and we'll just see. So I can feel it getting a little bit tacky on the skin, but it doesn't seem to be getting as tacky as the previous version. So again, I'm not sure if that is the formula change, if it's the trimethyl salicylate stuff, or, you know, if it will eventually become tacky, you know, as the foundation lives in the bottle, put it that way. So I've applied one layer, and this is the perfect color for my skin, so I am really pleased about that. And it is getting a little bit tacky. So that's one layer. And again, it's doing all the things that the original did, so it is giving me a very radiant finish. So I think that their description is really good. They're calling it the Face and Body Radiance Sheer, Studio Radiance Face and Body Radiant Sheer Foundation. So they really are emphasizing the radiance, and they're emphasizing the sheer, which I think didn't come across in the previous packaging. So I think that's quite good. They're obviously in tune with what's going on in the market, and they have decided to change the packaging accordingly. Of course, it is in the same squeezy plastic bottle. So they do say you can layer this. I am going to put on another layer of this, just see how it layers. And it is layering really well. And I can feel with the second coat that it is getting quite tacky on the skin. So that is a good thing. And feels exactly the same as the original, smells exactly the same. So I think we have our answer. I don't think that they have changed the formula, but I just think that it's quite a sneaky tactic on their part to market it as a new foundation instead of putting the emphasis on the new shades. You know, they could say, same foundation, 20 new shades, but instead they've chosen to label it as something new. So a little bit sneaky on the part of MAC. I think, you know, they haven't come out with a new foundation forever. So I think this is, you know, their way of compensating, but doesn't really cut the mustard, because the implication on the social media channels that I've seen and the international website is that this is a new product. So I'm pleased to see that it's still the same old product, and I can now get by with one shade instead of having to mix two. So that's a foundation done. Very pleased. Can't see any difference from the previous version. All looks very glowy, very sheer, very radiant. So as I said previously, it doesn't have incredibly long staying power. That's probably my only bugbear with this foundation, is that around about the 6-hour mark, it starts to fade quite noticeably. But it is a really beautiful skin-like foundation. Looks beautiful on the skin, and would recommend, you know, if you've got dry skin as well, I think this one is absolutely perfect. So I'm just going to finish off. I'm going to put on a little bit of my MAC Glow Play blush, and this is in the shade Blush Please, and I will be back. So guys, that is the blush done. That is the finished look. Let me know if you are aware of the new shade range, if you've been in store, and if you found one that matches your skin perfectly. I'd be keen to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and I will see you next time. Ciao, ciao.